This video is brought to you by patrons of Alan Cadiz. Join the team at patreon.com/Alan Cadiz.
Aloha wingfoilers! Come along for the ride to the Wet Feet and Blue Planet Hawaii State Wingfoil Championships on Oahu. It's a short flight from Maui to Oahu. The race was held at Moanalua Bay on the southeast coast of Oahu. To qualify for the event, you just had to show up.
Okay. Alex is
Hey, Robert.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
See you, man.
You alright? So the most important thing is the start. You want to go over the start where it's a little different from the race instructions. It says sitting start on the board, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go do a running start so that you're going full speed when the horn goes off at the start time, which is going to be approximately 10 o'clock.
It would be a timed start, 5-minute warning, and then a 1-minute countdown until the final horn. The course was an upwind, downwind course. So upwind to China Walls, then back down to the finish. So we're going to sail up to the channel marker. The blinker buoy is right around there. Pretty much straight upwind. And I have 3 sizes, a 5, a 5.5, and a 6 to choose from. Hey Justin, what size wing are you going to go with?
I'm pulling out my 6 meter. I think that's what I'm going to go with, but I also got a 5, but I've been enjoying the larger sizes recently, so yeah.
Awesome. And what size foil?
I have the Missile 120, which is a 775. Yeah.
Ooh, it looks sleek.
Yeah.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
6 meter. I don't know. What do you think? Is it overkill?
I don't know. I can't decide between a 5.5 and a 6.
Yeah. And I got my lift 150 surf B2. 4.9 apple tree.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
The 6-meter wing was the consensus, so I pumped up mine. I'm a little nervous about taking the 6-meter. I'm a lightweight, and on Maui, we've been using 3.5s for the most part, so this big wing is a little different. They say there's lulls, but when there's lulls, there's gusts too. Downwind, no problem. I'm riding my 63-liter Flying Dutchman and my 600 Mike Slab foil matched with a 96-centimeter mast. Oh, I think I should have taken the 5.5. We had to walk out about 200 meters before we could flip our foils over. It was just too shallow. And it took a lot of time. And there wasn't enough to go back in and switch wings. So we're kind of committed to what wings we had at this point, with the start just minutes away. Oh no! I turned on the tracking app on my watch so that I could look at my track after the race. Okay, I'm off the beach. With all that was going on, I didn't realize that the camera was pointing down until now. This one's got more lift than I'm used to. I've been riding a 540. This has a lot of lift coming through the tack. Okay, I'll restart this just before the start of the race. Okay, we're a few minutes away from the start. They should have started the horn, or they're going to move the buoy. And I'm going to test this camera, and it seems to be working. My leash is here on my waist, and it may get in the way a few times of the camera, so I apologize. Here's Robert. Oh no! Oh shit! Dang it. I was bummed to see that. Robert and I had been duking it out in the last few races, pretty close to one another. Now he has a serious handicap. There's just not enough time to go back and trade out his wing.
Woo! There's a lot of serious racers over here. It's going to be a good race. That guy there, I don't know who that is, but he's got the Bay Area style board, foil board. He's going to be competition. Justin Simmer, he's been right on my heels in a lot of the previous races. Nani, who's been one of the leading women foil winger racers over here. Well, if they're on time, we should be starting. Looks like they adjusted the start line. Check it out. Here comes the wind. How's this?
The prevailing wind was side offshore, and as it came off the land, there were gusts and lulls.
Woo! Some gnarly coral over here.
The start was delayed as they reset the starting line. At this point, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with my choice of the 6-meter wing, and like everyone else, just practicing doing short upwind legs prior to the start.
I'm just going to sit right here and wait a little bit. Robert with his torn wing.
Didn't recognize a lot of these people. I know now this is Malai McElhaney.
This guy's ripping.
Tati Grant.
Nani, good luck. Justin, go get him. Justin's on a 6-meter. There's the backside of Diamond Head, not a view that most of us are used to seeing. This guy's burning. Alex, he's on a 6.5. Cameron. Okay, I'm gonna go check out the starting line.
The event was sponsored by Blue Planet Surf and Wet Feet Sports. They called it the State Championships because, well, they could.
Pretty tight starting line. So right hand forward right away.
Here in Hawaii, we've had very few organized wing foil races, and the ones that we have had are generally downwind races. And the start consists of sitting on your board and the gun goes and you stand up and you head downwind. Upwind starts are different, and a traditional sailboat start where you cross the starting line with speed with a countdown is something new for a lot of us. And it's a good idea to practice both ends of the starts. That is, start on starboard and start on port to see which end of the line is favored. And in this case, if you started on starboard, you'd have right away, but you'd sail right into the reef and have to tack immediately. So I chose the port end so I wouldn't have to tack, but it also meant that I'd have to give way to everyone else. Now it's about a minute to go, and I'm going to start the camera.
Okay, we're gonna start this. 1 minute to go.
When I'm using the Water Speed app, I can't read the time on my watch. The numbers are too small. So I just count in my head to give me an approximate start time. I know I'm supposed to give way to starboard riders, but at this point I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about where did he come from, and then he gave way the last minute. I would have ducked under him, but he beat me to it. I believe that's Malai McElhaney passing me to windward. He had a 450 centimeter foil, very fast, but no match for my 600 as far as pointing. He could go faster, but I could point higher. I think this is Kai Morrell, the one that I called a Bay Area sailor. And it turns out he is from the Bay Area, going to school at UH.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
The turbulence or bad air coming off another sailor's wing can really slow you down, so you need to get in clean air. In this case, I chose to pinch up. Here comes McElhaney with his tiny foil. He's faster than me, but he can't pinch as high, so he's covering more distance as he foots off the wind to keep his speed up. Pinching and footing are sailing terms to describe the angle of attack to the wind. Pinching, you sail closer to the wind, generally going slower, where footing, you go faster, but pointing a little bit further away from the windward goal. The two wingers to my left started on starboard tack, and they tacked at the reef. So they're to windward of me, both Alex Segura in the red and Makani Andrews in the black. In the distance is Cameron. I'm pinching just a little higher than him, but not much.
Feeling pretty good. Feeling a little slow.
After the race, there was a lot of discussion about harnesses from the competitors that were not using them. For an event like this, a harness is almost a necessity. For me, anyway. My water speed app shows my track sailing to windward in yellow and the green on the downwind return. I think Cameron is about to tack, and I'm trying to decide if I should cover him.
Should I cover him? Yeah, we got a bit of a race going.
Earlier, I spoke about gusts and lulls. Besides changes in velocity of the wind, there's also changes in wind direction. When the wind shifts more head-on or over the front of your board, it's called a header because it heads you away from your windward goal. When the wind comes more over your shoulder, it's called a lift because it lifts you up towards your windward goal. It was really nice having land in the background because it would give you a visual landmark, and you could tell during a wind shift if it was a favorable or unfavorable shift. Right here I'm getting an unfavorable wind shift, so I decide to tack. In the distance you can see Alex and Makani heading up on the inside. Besides my camera gear, I've got my camel pack under my jersey, and I forgot to do the straps. That's what you see, the webbing hanging down there.
Cameron's faster, but he can't point as high. Or that was a header.
I don't feel I'm pointing as high as I could, so I decide to tack. And to my surprise, Alex and Makani are right there. Fortunately, I'm on starboard tack, and I call them out.
Starboard!
And Kai, who fell earlier, is back in the race.
There we go. Oh yeah.
Right here, I experience a wind shift that's heading me away, so I decide to tack.
It's a clean tack, and I got a nice lift. So a lift is a favorable wind shift that allows you to point higher. I'm going almost for China walls, where outside I was pointing further down. nice lift.
Initially, I got a nice lift on my third port tack, but then the wind shifted to the very definition of a header, and it lulled, forcing me to duck behind Alex and McConney.
It's a header now. Come on. Oh, there's a lull. I'm gagging now. That was a bad call going inside. Now I got work. Covering me.
The camera on my strut times out after 10 minutes. I'll restart it again at the windward mark. Now I've got some good wind and a nice lift. And apparently Alex and McConney didn't experience the same favorable wind shift. There is some luck involved regarding wind shifts, but learning to read the wind on the water, as well as its effect on your course, will improve your performance.
And where those other guys went? Oh, way outside. Way outside. this a lift or a header? Big gust coming. Oh, it's kind of a header. And there we go. Yeah. I don't know who's coming up on port tack. I don't want to lift my wing.
Now the wind's really gusting and it's an unfavorable wind shift, so I decide to tack.
I'm huffing and puffing.
At this point, I've left Alex and Makani behind, and I've gained on Cameron. If you look closely, you can see the wind's effect on the surface of the water. A wind gust will rough up the water, and you can see a gust coming across the water to my right. Now the question I have, I can see the gust, but the question is it a lift or a header?
Gusty. Shit. Super gusty. Oh. Okay. Come on. Oh, giant header. Wind's coming over that mountain and all kinds of wind shifts, lulls and gusts. It's a tactical course. I'm trying to tack on every header. So that's first place way up there, I'm pretty sure. Cameron is on the inside of me. There we go, nice lift.
Kai Morrell is heading for the windward mark. One more tack and I should be on the ley line. If I tack too early, I'll have to zigzag again to make the windward mark. But if I tack too late, then I'll be giving up time and distance. So I want to time it just right to be on the ley line to the windward mark.
Okay. There go the short course riders. Colin's coming up. Not Colin, Cameron. I'm on the ley line. I overshot. No, I didn't overshoot it. I'm just really far out.
So there were two events. The long course is what we're doing now, and the short course was another group of wingers that started at the windward mark and just went downwind. That's what you're seeing up ahead.
So first place just rounded the mark, the white ozone.
I probably did overshoot the ley line a little bit as I'm kind of reaching into that windward mark, but it gave me the opportunity to turn on the strut camera.
I don't know if it's on. Yes, it's on.
There was no wind on the inside, in part because Cocoa Head blocks the bay in there. So I turned to go outside to give chase to Cameron and Kai. Here comes McElhaney and Andrews closing in on the windward mark. Going downwind, I was happy with my choice with the 6.0. I might have been able to go a little faster upwind with the 5.5 because I'd have less drag, but coming off the wind, I wanted to have as much sail area as I could.
Whoa, that was close.
It's unlikely that I'm going to catch the two leaders just following them, so I'm going to take a hitch inside, hoping to find better wind.
Go this way a little bit.
Going downwind, you still try and work the wind shifts, but a lift actually lifts you away from your downwind goal where a header drives you to it. Ultimately, you just want to try and find the wind and stay in the stronger wind, which was really best on the outside on this day.
Yes.
This is flat water by Maui standards, and it's relatively flat for Mauna Loa Bay as well. I was here last month and it was pretty big. We had some really big swells to work. But in this case, I'm just working the wind, trying to go as fast as I can.
Well, the 6 was the right call. It was a handful at times going upwind, but downwind is no problem.
At this point, I think I'm on the ley line to the finish. That white building in the middle of the saddle up ahead is where the finish line is. I should be able to make the rest of the course on starboard tack.
I had planned to talk more, but I'm out of breath. I can't be bothered with the manufacturing of words.
Meanwhile, up ahead,
The finish, ooh, the back guy is catching him.
it was a close finish for Kai and Cameron. Kai ended up taking it. I was just a couple minutes behind him. Now, as I close in on the finish line, here's just a few clips of some other riders in no particular order.
Yes, sir. Got it, you got it. Come on. Good, looking good.
Get over this swell.
Woo! All right. Yes, yes.
For the complete list of finishers, click on the link below.
36. Woo! Cameron. Awesome. Yeah.
And just by chance, my GoPro battery went dead right here.
Oops.
Fill out one raffle ticket.
Thank you to Jeff Chang and Robert Selleck and all the volunteers that made this event happen. And thank you to my supporters. If you want to watch premium instructional wingfoil videos, visit patreon.com/Alan Cadiz.